Steve Minunti doing the junkyard crawl here at Bernardson Auto Wrecking in Bernardstown, Massachusetts with a 1974 Chevy Nova Hatchback. If you've never heard of it, that's because they're only made for 2 years, 1973 and 74. Unlike the Nova Coupe, these actually have an opening hatch, thus the term hatchback. And something kind of cool is his road test magazine right here. And of course, you know, AMC was right there swinging too with the Hornet hatchback seen there on the left. But getting to the point of this, the Nova hatchback is seen in the next couple of pages in. And I love old magazines like this. They show you all the history of the past today. And there's right there, the hatchback right there, 73 and 74, only 2 years, but unique many ways, aside from the steel stamping that made the back of the car what it is. They have hinges that are not hydraulic, but spring-loaded. Right here, there's a spring inside of there. They're still holding it up. I wouldn't dare try and close it. It'll probably stay closed, but yeah, they're sort of got car arthritis, but they live in there. And also unique to the hatchback is the trunk floor with that circular recess right there for a space-saver spare that would live underneath there, and then underneath this here. And also the gas tank was reconfigured to suit that trunk floor here, again with the circular recess right here, specific to the hatchback cars, 22 gallons right here, which is good news for fuel economy, a longer range. And speaking of fuel, the filler on these things is right here. Goes through here and in through the license plate opening right there. You can see that at some point somebody put a locking cap on this thing. 1973 for gas rationing was a big deal, and people were siphoning gas, stealing at night, so the locking cap right there would save that from happening here. And 1973 and 4 had these big goofy rear bumpers, massive monstrosities, and the hydraulic cylinders right here, the pistons right there that absorb the impact here, 2.5 miles per hour at the back, 5 miles per hour at the front, and the impact absorbing bumpers weighed a bunch. And again, in a time when everybody is worried about fuel economy and getting the best mile per gallon, the EPA, the whole thing was a big deal. These things added about 100 pounds per each car in the name of safety. And what did they do? What did they do? I don't know, because in order for these things to function, you would have two impacts at the exact same plane. And it was a goofy thing, so a politician should never design cars. With that said, these things were sort of popular. I would say this, 390,537 Novas built in 1974, only 34,349 had this feature here. And the price on this was $113 more than a regular Nova Coupe. So $113 to gain the utility of a station wagon, sort of, and a lot of room back here. There's no partition, you know, separating the front and back. The rear window is unique, and again, things go straight in there, and again, there's no bulkhead at the back, so very useful in so many ways. 4 seats, you could put, well, 3 in the front, 3 in the back. Unless it's a Super Sport, it actually could be had with the Super Sport body. In fact, the same body could be had, the hatchback could be had with the Olds Omega and the Pontiac Ventura, and I think the Buick Skylark also had an option for the hatchback body style, but certainly Chevrolet made the most of it, and again, there were 34,349 of these things were built, and again, $113 more than a coupe. Let's go to the front of the car and see what we can learn here. And this car has been repainted over its life, but the word hatchback would be a logo that says hatchback right there on both sides on the B pillar. Missing here, but that was a way that they kind of advertised the fact that it was indeed a hatchback, in case the back window didn't fool you. Although the B pillar was pretty much the same stamping. It wasn't altered for the hatchback, except for the other component there, but the deck lid is built into the hatch on these things. And again, two-door sedan body of, you know, these were also available as 4-doors, never the hatchbacks, but yeah, Nova was 2-door. Most of these things were 2-door sedans right here with the pillar, fixed B pillar. This one has the automatic on the column. Pretty utilitarian, you know, bench up front. Again, Super Sports could be had with the bucket seats up front, which would make it a 5-seater, but this one with 3 in the front, 3 in the back would have 6 people in the car with cargo in the back if you wanted. Of course, to make full utility of the hatch, the seat would fold down, which means nobody in the back seat. But you could put some, you know, surfboards or whatever in the back. And at the front, we see once again those hideous impact-absorbing front bumpers. And here, right, it's the AH is the part number, whatever. And there it is. That thing right there is extendable. And these things get smacked at 5 miles an hour. Within 24 hours, it's supposed to extend itself and not be damaged. But also kind of goofy, the urethane end caps right here also would deform and not take a deformed shape. But here they are, part of the 5 mile per hour impact bumper package. And this one here could have a 307, a 350, or a 6-popper, and what do we have? There it is, okay. The 250 6-cylinder engine with a 1-barrel carburetor. And you can see right here, this thing was born, yeah, the 250 6-popper, there it is. Automatic, probably a 2-speed power glide. I mean, certainly a 2-speed power glide in this thing. Not very sexy, but again, pretty much utilitarian. I think he had like 89 horsepower or something like that, net horsepower back in 1974 when compression was probably maybe 8-to-1 on these things. This was the workhorse engine. But again, a 350 Super Sport could be had, I think, with 210 horse, something like that, 220 I think it was, with a 4-speed sort of could be possible. I can imagine a Super Sport 350 hatchback would be a really cool Nova, a really rare one too. So that's the story of the 74 Nova Hatchback. If you haven't seen one of these lately, it's because there weren't any of these things made and few have survived, except for right here. So that's the story of this one here. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe to the SteamMags YouTube channel. We'll see you again tomorrow for more Junkyard Crawl. Thank you for watching.